Yeah, we back once again, Straight No Chaser, the podcast. Here, live everywhere in the cloud. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Just basically four fellas that are trying to solve the world's problems, one drink at a time. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your mother about us. You know, in general, just let people know that we out here. It's probably looking a little bit different. We're going to get to that. But first, we got to get to this. My name is John, and I'm going to throw it to my man, KG.
What up, good people? KG sitting here sipping on some Casa Noble Tequila Reposado per usual. And because I've already started today, I've been drinking a little bit. I am going to take a little light tonight, but it's going to be a fun show because I'm telling everybody right now, be forewarned. I'm going to throw it over to my man, Ra. What up, Ra?
What up, cuz? What's going on, people in the internet land? Rashim in the house, aka Ra. I got me a little Allagash White. I'm doing some beer. Because I look, you get older, you gotta take care of the body as much as possible. But listen, that's not the most important thing. What I'm drinking, the most important thing is we got these lovely ladies because we doing this crossover event. We doing this co-hosted event. We got these sisters come through, and I want them to introduce themselves one at a time and give us your name, tell us what you're drinking, and then we're gonna get right in it and talk about the wonderful things we got. So, ladies and gentlemen, meet the ladies of Meeting in the ladies' room. There you go. Throw it up. Who's first?
I'm first.
Throw it to Jana.
I'm Jana, and I'm drinking coffee because I love coffee, y'all.
Is it spiked coffee?
Yeah, something in it.
I mean, I don't do that. I'm sorry.
You don't drink?
No peer pressure.
No, it is peer pressure.
No peer pressure here. No peer pressure here.
Okay.
Oh, God.
My girls will get you. Don't play.
Hey, listen.
Coffee is enough for her.
We built Ford Tough for this.
Right.
We good.
I'm built with energy and sexuality. Trust me, I don't need any liquor to do that.
All right. Here. Go ahead, Jana. So my name is Angela, and I am drinking my 19 Crimes wine, Cali Red Snoop Dogg, because I love him. Jen, what you got for us?
So I am Jennifer, and tonight I'm drinking Greenwood whiskey, which is a black-owned whiskey. Check it out.
Ooh.
Cam.
Hey, for
What's
those that
up,
can't
y'all?
see this, she taking that to the head. There's no glass. It's straight bottle. Straight bottle.
As it should be.
She's a question. That's how we roll.
I'm just gonna have this. Let's just
Taking it to the head.
Dang, Jen. My Lord. So, my name is Cam, and I'm drinking on some Acres Home, Texas moonshine.
Cam.
Ooh. She
Wow.
said, don't think it's water in this, and she
I
going.
think she took it to the head, guys. Ladies. Her tongue is out.
she took it to the head more than I took it to the head.
Right?
Put that over.
H-Town.
She's jiggling, y'all.
All right. What we drinking, Case?
I'm providing a play-by-play for the people that can't see this. So I apologize.
All right. My girl C, what you drinking?
Hey, everybody. I'm Cassie, and I am drinking what I most likely will always be drinking, margarita. This is like my third one, so please excuse anything from me tonight. I'm here, and it's
look a little twisted.
I do?
Yeah, just got a little sway to you.
Look, Cassie, don't forget the disclaimer. Any opinions expressed are solely my own and do not express the views or opinions of my employer. I'm going to get that out right now. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, Lord, my employer.
Yeah,
I was specifically asked to say that they know me, but keep it moving. Thank you.
Okay. Well, cool. Ladies, welcome. I mean, they're going to have their podcast, going to be broadcast in the future. So, salute to y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Meeting in the ladies' room.
Cheers.
That podcast is dropping this summer. Y'all going to have to support that.
Check them out. Speaking of things that we need to check out, we try to ease things into things. Ra, you got that, what is it? Instagram account thing? I got this like pick a music house topic. You know what I'm saying? To get into things. So for everybody out there, basically we've got like these different houses. You've seen these memes on social media where you get to be in one house or the other. Okay. So everybody sees what we got out here. For those that can't see it, house one is Tony Braxton. I want to say, what album is that? I want to say that's like the first album.
First one.
Mary
First
J.
album.
Blige,
Definitely Flowers.
My Life, Jodeci, the first album. What was that? What was the name of the first album? Damn, y'all killing me. Okay, Brandy's first album, and SWV. That's the first house.
That's house one.
House two is the Neo Soul house. D'Angelo, Maxwell,
Urban
Lauryn
Suite.
Hill.
Urban Suite. Now you got to be specific on the
It's
match.
Urban Hang Suite, Maxwell. Urban Hang Suite, Maxwell, and D'Angelo's first album. Lauryn Hill's only album. We ain't gonna go there, but okay.
Not her only album. She had a lot of albums.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, the one with no sound.
They
I
was
mean,
trash,
it was
but she had a
We gonna let her have it. We
Yeah.
gonna let her have it. Music. I've always pronounced it music. Is it supposed to be music or music?
It's
Music.
I'm from the South. We just say music.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, music.
And Erykah Badu. That's house two. And then house three.
No. Hold up, Jay. It's Erykah Baduism. It's
True.
You got to be specific, bro.
Four-leaf clover.
Then house three, Janet Jackson, and this is the Velvet Rope album.
Yeah.
Joe
Trash.
quietly slept on the Dirty Mac King. Joe.
Dirty Mac.
It's quietly slept on.
One in a Million album, Aaliyah. The My Way Usher. And then who is that? Darnell Rollins?
Darnell
Jones.
Darnell Jones.
Darnell Rollins.
My bad. You've been drinking for a minute. It's all good. But now, we wasted about 6 minutes on the introduction. But which house would you want to be in?
I'm killing the house. Y'all
I
better,
think
y'all
it's very
better
simple.
get a good
House
look.
two.
I'm killing it.
House two is easy.
Thank you. House two, please.
You
House
know,
two.
There's absolutely no reason to go to
Come
any
on,
other
y'all.
house.
That's undergrad.
No.
Who's
That's
going to be in
house
house
I
two?
wrote some good
Hold up,
poetry
hold
to
up,
some of
hold
those
the
albums
fuck up.
in house two.
Hold the fuck
House
up.
two.
We're going to be in house two on purpose because it has the most consistency. It has classics. Lauryn Hill's album is a classic. The Miseducation is a classic. You can play from top to bottom. Enjoy that joint. You got Maxwell. You can get your little suave on that. Let's not forget about who was the first joint that it was on there?
Lauryn Hill was first.
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo.
first
That album was fire. You
Fire.
actually understand what he was saying. So, you can't go wrong with that. With house two, you got to go house two. If it's in order, house two, house one, and last and distant, house three.
First of all, I feel as though y'all are wrong for putting all these against each other. The only album I didn't have on here was Music. I represent Philly and South Jersey, but he's the only person on here that I didn't have. House one is my pick because of Tony Braxton and Tony Braxton alone. But I think you're wrong for putting all these against each other on the strength of Lauryn Hill's Miseducation. If I could pick my own house, it would be house 1 and 2.
We here for the
I'm going
controversy.
house two. I say house two because in Howard, I wrote poetry. And with some of those albums, I wrote some fire poetry for my MySpace page. Like, scroll down.
Okay, Jen.
So, listen.
Yeah, house two. You gotta rep the Badu. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
The Badu just come on now.
I got
Tony Braxton alone.
The only house where I actually liked every album in the house.
Let me look at this again.
Is house one.
Thank you.
I'm with Cass. That's the only house that I liked every single album in the house. The other house two, the only album that I really rocked with was Lauren, and Lauren ain't gonna be strong enough to carry that whole thing. I'm sorry.
You didn't rock with Erykah Badu.
Wait, sorry, cousin. Seriously.
I rock
with
Erykah's first album. Okay, fine, but not like I rocked with all of the albums in house one. So if your house only got 1 or 2 albums that I was digging, you lose.
But the beat to On and On can knock off any of those houses. Just that one song with that one beat.
Killer Cam. Let's go, Cam.
Nah,
I'm voting for group 3.
Cam.
I'm group 3.
House 3.
Janet Jackson.
House 3.
I don't care.
Exactly. That Velvet Rope album knocks everybody out the box. I'm sorry.
With that whispering singing.
Everybody.
House 3.
Thank you.
And then
I gotta have something to dance to and party.
Come
to.
and
There you
talk
go.
to me. Come and talk to me. It knocks out. Come and talk to me.
I'm sorry, son.
The
Velvet
only
Rope.
way
Velvet
I'm
Rope
saying-
is
Velvet Rope
Remix
album.
to come and talk to me.
the only reason I'm gonna pick House One is because in those albums, Mary J and Jodeci probably had some good bud. So I'm gonna go in their house. You know, I might go with House One. Then once I get high, I go on in the House Two and relax. You know, then go to House Three and get your groove on. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
I don't know. I got my groove on the house too. That's the reason why I
Thank
picked
you.
it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Angela.
I'm just saying that whole Music Soul Child album, like on repeat.
Yeah, that's
Music's
Howard
trash.
days. That Music Soul
music
Child.
album was
It
fire.
is, but
Music's trash.
D'Angelo's album was fire. Shit, damn, mother. No,
Oh,
you
that
can't-
just hit. That
Yes.
hits.
You know what I'm saying?
Drink
Come on,
to
man.
that,
hit.
y'all.
It does,
Yes.
yes.
You know?
Shit, damn motherfucker.
Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you
let's
know,
get into
we
it.
are going to keep this thing moving on. And so I don't know if Rod has this up or not, but I'm going to read this and introduce this concept of this topic. So a woman posted this and said, damn man ghosted his fiance on their wedding day because she had a bachelorette party and a video was sent to him from her sister of the male stripper having chocolate drip off his manhood, his penis, his rod, his cannon, into her mouth. And so, you know, the person who posted this said, you know, thoughts on this? So
I want to see the video.
I'm gonna be very specific in this. So I'm gonna toss it to the ladies. Cam, you jiggling your things again. So I'm gonna ask you first. What are your thoughts on a man receiving a message from somebody at a bachelorette party of his bride to be?
Okay.
Receiving, you know, chocolate mixed with semen type stuff secreted
Mixed
from
with
a man
semen,
Johnson.
though, for real.
Okay, first of all,
you're exaggerating a
I'm
bit.
exaggerating.
okay. Well, first of all, I'm gonna be shaking like this because I'm tipsy. Okay. Third of all, what was I on? Okay. Third of all, I said second of all
boo,
first.
second of all, there you go.
Okay. Anyway.
Like fourth of all.
Anyway, her sister is a snitch who needs to get left in a ditch. But I digress. But he not wrong for leaving her at the altar because it's about what you do behind my back. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, okay,
Like,
okay.
come on, bro. Like, come on. She shouldn't have been doing that before her wedding.
I mean, it's a listen.
She shouldn't have got caught.
All of us, well, all the guys on our show, we've all been married, right? A few of us have had a bachelor party, and we ain't never did nothing like that. But it's a bachelor party. It's a celebration. So, you know,
that's too far. Like, that's juices from the private going on her tongue.
It wasn't juices. It was
chocolate.
He was dancing. He was
Come
dancing.
on.
So it's sweat and chocolate and probably some leakage.
It didn't
That part.
Thank you.
But Cam, it didn't say it was
Let's
weird
just
to me.
be real.
It didn't say it
Male
was chocolate
strippers
to me.
do the
It could have
most.
been over his
No.
garment covering.
I'm picturing him pouring chocolate on his Oscar Mayer, and she's under there with her head like,
say,
you know.
What? How did we get here?
Right.
Yeah, no, my girls knew not
her
to invite that to my bachelorette party because of that alone. You know, you're going to have fun. No, my girls knew not to do any of that at my bachelorette party, specifically because it was my bachelorette party. But you don't do no mess like that.
Nah, you don't.
However,
I've seen worse.
The sister is a piece of crap. Is a piece of shit.
Right.
Y'all said I can curse, right? Piece of shit.
You can
Why would you send that to him on that day? Maybe warn him. Maybe say something. She's stupid for doing all that on her bachelorette party in front of people. And he's wrong for ghosting her. He should have said something and said that I can't do it. The ghosting thing that I cannot get with. And that's just because of my tree hugger nature. You don't ghost nobody. I don't believe in that.
What if ghosting was his way of getting back? What if he said, so she hurt me so much that I'm just disappearing.
That's big payback. That's some James Brown payback.
Was it the bride's
sister? So you leaving all that money on the table?
Yeah,
You
for real.
don't
No,
go
it was
to
the
that
bride's
point.
sister. It was the bride's sister who sent the
Okay.
picture according to. But can we just be real? The sister clearly want to smash.
That's
Right.
Like she wanted to do it to be foul. She wanted to do it to anything reason, but outside of
Or she's
wanting to
jealous.
smash her sister's man, and
or
that's why
just
it
jealous
happened.
of the fact that she
Yes.
getting married.
You should have
Yes.
stopped it before it happened.
I
That's
want
the
to see
first
the
thing.
video.
Afterwards,
I
she was
did
like,
too.
I would love to see the video.
Hold up. One at a
See the
time.
video.
One at a time.
she was like, "Come
All right.
cry on my shoulder." Come on,
Exactly, Lisa.
talk to me all about it.
Cassie said,
You
"Yes,
should-
Lisa, say that shit."
She should have
This was a-
stopped it before it happened if you was really about that shit. You don't send it to him.
It was a Jada Pinkett Smith moment where she could have paused it,
We're not
stopped
gonna
it
talk about
before it
Jada
even
Pinkett.
occurred. I'm gonna bring it back to that
You going back?
trifling
You going
situation.
back?
No, you Jada Pinkett alone.
I can't leave it alone. But she could have stopped it, paused it before the sister opened her mouth and was kind of
Right.
and caught it.
Wait, does it matter that she opened her mouth or that she let it drip on her mouth?
No,
Does
the
open mouth matter?
problem is
Yeah.
you can open your mouth. You can do whatever you want to do.
No.
But when she caught it, she positioned herself like you got to think about this, lady. Look, really think about this. Think about the visual. She on her knees because he ain't that tall, I'm assuming, but she on her knees.
Was this?
She's looking
What
up.
is this?
Her mouth is open. Her tongue may be out. She may be dripping some saliva.
Yeah, that's too much.
and there's some dripping out in her mouth.
That's
That's
too
not
much.
the visual.
Yes.
You're making it worse. You're not making it better, dude. You're making it worse.
It's supposed to be. It's bad.
Ghost
That's
her
real
ass.
detail.
Ghost
That's
her
real
ass.
No, don't ghost her. You cuss her ass out and then you
Hell
leave.
nah.
You don't
Deuces.
ghost her.
Casper the ghost.
Wow.
Getting out of there.
Give me all my money back.
Ooh.
You're pushing her hygiene because ain't no stripper. I don't even want strippers to touch me.
You got a bacterial infection already.
No, not
Yeah.
even because if you would let a stripper do that to you, you was doing some dirt.
That's
before.
nasty. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't judge
She
on
got
certain
herpes
things
in her
podcast.
mouth.
Right. This is a judgment-free zone.
We don't judge on certain things in the podcast.
Judgment-free.
We respect sex workers.
Listen.
Chase
She's
the podcast.
well within her right, but she caught something that night.
Yeah, she caught
That's
something.
okay. There's medicine for it, I guess. I don't know, but
Possibly.
caught something that night.
We don't know. We don't know how far she went. We don't
She
know.
swallowed chocolate semen.
Basically.
What if
Right?
he had herpes?
He had
That's what
herpes.
you're saying.
How did herpes get into?
Catherine said it in her mind. This man
Is this what the ladies' room is going to be consistent of?
I know.
Everything. It's a
What?
meeting.
If
Yeah.
I had 3 margaritas, yeah.
I know. Somebody, one of y'all has got to think, oh, she's just having fun.
Yeah.
Nah,
Someone's
nah,
got to.
bruh.
No one.
Nah,
I
nah.
think
She's,
that.
she's just enjoying herself before she's locked into
Nah.
Hey, you
No,
weren't
there's-
married
I'm
until you
sorry.
married. She
Yeah,
was
I'm
not married
sorry.
yet. She didn't have a ring on.
She
No,
did have the
no,
ring
sorry.
on.
She did have a
It's
ring.
hard-earned money.
Sister was wrong.
Yes.
The sister was wrong. We all agreed that the sister was wrong. You just don't do that shit, period. But
You
I'm
think
saying,
Cam's Wi-Fi is wrong?
we
But however,
all know-
I'm letting y'all know.
No.
If you do it, I'm not going to take no pictures and I'm not sending because
Yeah.
the girl put.
Thank
I'm gonna
you,
talk
Kat.
to you and cuss you out behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't do that shit no more. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Right.
sending
Right.
it and I'm not talking about it any further.
But my thing is, where were all the other friends when the sister was recording? Like,
They're not real friends.
Horrible
Go
friend.
Cam.
Horrible friend.
Okay.
Probably
Cam
ignorant.
calling out all the
Like,
real
oh, girl,
things
get
that
up
we need to
close.
be aware of.
Yeah. Egging it on.
Somebody in our chat said throat coat.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say who said it. But someone said throat coat. And it's a chocolate throat coat. But we gonna pause here. We're gonna shift gears a little bit, and I'm gonna toss it over to Jana and see what they want to talk about a little bit.
You're tossing to me.
Yeah.
toss it.
And relation.
Well, it's not really me, but okay.
No, it's not her. It's me.
Go ahead. So go ahead.
This is a great segue, right? Because let's just. This man has had a traumatic experience, right? Let's all agree on that, and we all know how we carry baggage from one relationship to another. So let's talk about that. How long do y'all think he should wait before he start dating somebody else? Right? Does he need to deal with that trauma before he moves on? to the next
Immediately.
person?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
No.
Cam,
No.
where you from? Houston. I knew that.
I agree.
He don't need to
There's
immediately
no
deal with
way
that.
a man will move on from a person that he has went out and purchased a ring, got on a knee, that is dated, asked some fake people in her family, like, hey, do you mind if I marry this person? And he finds out near the wedding that she is sucking chocolate off another man's dick. There's no way that this dude is gonna move on immediately and say, you know what? I think I want to get back out there again right now. No,
but not
he's
even if he goes out there. But not if he goes out there immediately, right? Like
he's not going to go out there immediately. No guy
but
on this show is going to go out there
do you think that he should talk to somebody about that?
Not right away.
No,
not right away. I think he needs to stew in it for a little bit. I think he needs to let that thing just kind of like fester in him for a while. He needs to make sure that he has something that's guarding his heart, because a lot of these sisters out here, you know, they savages. They've been listening to the Megans and the City Girls and the Sweeties and all of them. They ain't got no soul. They ain't got no heart for these dudes. So he needs to sit on that, learn his lesson. Then he takes it to someone he could talk to,
right?
And let them put the pieces back together. But while he hurt, that's the way he gets caught. Let me paint the picture. He goes talks to a therapist. He has not let the calluses form around his heart yet.
Oh my God!
He feels like
that's why you go.
Listen
so
to
you don't get calluses around your heart.
He feels somebody by getting under somebody else.
He feels like he's good. Then he goes to one of those happy hours that you all like to drink Casamigos at, and the next thing you know, he get caught out by another two shorties because his heart wasn't ready yet. He need calluses while he go through that process.
That's a good time.
I cannot. So what if it's even more serious for that, right? So speaking for myself personally, I'm a domestic violence survivor. And, you know, for me, it was really hard to trust someone in the relationship, right? I think I saw this meme a while ago about a woman whose husband was upset with her because he found out that she had a separate stash of money, and he felt offended because, you know, she told him, well, I've been in this relationship before, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm covering myself. And a lot of folks had an issue with that because their whole thing was like, I'm married to you. You should trust me. And my whole thing is she's been through an experience. So it's not about you. It's about her feeling like she needs to have something to make her feel safe, because the person that you marry may not be the same person that you're with 5-10 years down the line. I hate when people say that you knew who they were when you met them. No, people change. Narcissism is real. That happens. So what about that? Like, talk to me about how y'all feel about that from a male point of view. You find out that your wife has a separate account, but you understand her situation. You know that she's been through something before.
Yeah.
Do you trust her in, you know, knowing that this wasn't something that she was doing that was, you know, salacious, or are you pissed because she got money that you ain't got access to?
Well, I'll say this. One, you know, salute to you for making it through your situation and, you know, being strong and evolving and, you know, even talking about it, right? You know, this is your first time on our show, and as you guys venture off into your own endeavor, just, you know, I'm gonna say cheers to your strength and resoluteness, being resolute. That's not a real word. But to answer your question, I don't know if it's wrong. I think both people in that situation have a point of view. I think if you have an understanding in a relationship that is going to be transparent on both sides, and you find out that somebody's withholding this significant thing, I mean, from what I remember in my marital counseling, the issues that people kind of run into is going to be around sex, finances, and I feel like there was another one. It was sex, money, and something else, but those are the two big ones, right? And if you withholding information around finances, that's going to be a problem, no matter what. I mean, if that's your thing, right? So I believe that, you know, the guy or the woman, whoever is finding out that there's money that they didn't know about, they got cause to have an issue for sure.
Yeah, the answer is it depends. If it's a situation, he might be like, fine, I'm cool with it. You got your own stash, as long as we paying the bills, as long as we, you know, we got investments. So you got your own stash. It is what it is. Now, if it's a situation where she was like, we need to have a joint account and we need to pay for everything out of the joint account and we've got to do everything out of this money, and now she's got a separate stash that he ain't know about, then my problem is with process. I don't care what you got going on. You could tell me, look, I think I need to have this over here because my mama raised me to make sure I could always take care of myself in case a man act a fool. I ain't mad at that because I'm a man. I know men act fool. I got to issue a process if we don't talk it through. Depends on how it comes about. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, don't lie about it. You got your money, okay. But now if you lie about it, I would have a problem with that. But I really don't look for problems. You know what I'm saying? If you let me know, for me to find it, you had to fuck up some kind of way. So tighten up.
Now, if this is also tied to that whole traumatic piece, the trauma piece, folks, I mean, I was joking earlier. Folks do need to sit down, go to therapy if you got trauma. And the best thing for you is to not insert yourself in another relationship willy-nilly. I'm not going to say, lock yourself in a room because people meet people in natural gravitations. You might meet someone you can't be like, nah, I'm not going to mess with her because I'm working through something in therapy. Be honest, just tell her, look, I'm working through some things. But at the same time, I need to show that I'm working towards being a better person and not letting my trauma hold me down. If I get in a relationship and I'm just like, look, I'm traumatic and I'm traumatic, so I just don't do those things. Dudes do that. They be like, you need to take me the way I am because of my trauma. You're 45 years old. Shut up.
Everybody does that. Everybody.
I think everybody does that. I'm not going to sit up here.
No, I'm talking from a man's perspective. I'm not talking from a woman's perspective. Granted, I know everyone does that. I'm talking from a man's perspective.
There you go.
And like I said, sometimes I hold my own kind to a higher standard because we run around here playing games with women.
Yeah, well,
that's right.
Not that women aren't Lori Harving dudes too, but it is what it is.
Go back.
I'm a pivot. And keep.
Yeah, I'm saying I appreciate y'all's perspective, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about this on Meet the Ladies Room podcast. My episode specifically will focus on domestic violence, and it may change your answer after you hear what I have to say.
Ooh, it's a little tease. We call that the tease in the business.
I got you.
I don't know what that is. We people tease anyway. So if you can see us right now, some teasers happening on the screen right now. But I digress. I'm going to go ahead and introduce this topic. This is an interesting one. So people. I gotta talk this here myself. So somebody that's 26 years old, right, got on Twitter and created this topic and said, or this question and conversation, and said, having relations, is there a moral dilemma about having relations with someone that is 19 years old? And the question this person asks is, what's wrong with having relations? And relations mean fornicating. 19-year-old. She's an adult, is she not? So you got a 26-year-old saying, what's wrong with fornicating with a 19-year-old? What's the problem?
Ladies, take another step. Take another step.
Does anybody have a problem with this person's position of fornicating with a 19-year-old? This is a guy asking about a 19-year-old woman. Is there any angst around that dichotomy there?
I will say, as a woman, I think that you have until your early mid-20s to date a 19-year-old. I think maybe 18 is different if they're not in high school. But I do think if you're not settled, if you're not mature enough, I do think you have until that 25, maybe 26 area to date.
Let me be very clear.
I dated older men when I was in my early 20s.
So you're good. You're good with the 19 and the 26, like just to smash. You're not saying relationship. He's saying just to cock them legs.
Smash and pass.
Relations. That's what he said. Having relations.
I don't know. I think you'd have to know the 19-year-old. You'd have to know the 26-year-old. And I'm being as honest as possible, not politically correct. I think you really would have to. At 19, I think I would have been ready to date a 26-year-old.
Well, they ain't dating, boo. They just smashing.
He keeps going to that.
Well, I don't think that. So I don't know.
I don't think it's a problem necessarily, but I'm side-eyeing the 26-year-old because I'm like, at 19, was I that experienced to satisfy a grown man? No, I was not. So therefore, Was I?
To satisfy him? Yeah.
To satisfy a girl. You talking about they're just having relations. You don't have
but when I'm
no, she's talking about. I know what you're saying. I got Cam. Go for it. Go for it.
As a 40-year-old woman, I wasn't doing the, it's the tricks you learn as a 40-year-old woman that you don't know as a 19-year-old. Okay. There are things about the male anatomy that you know at 40 that you didn't know at 19 years old. So therefore, I feel like he's trying to have a big ego and trying to put it down with someone who's not that experienced.
There you go.
Because if that 29 going on 30-year-old grab a 40 or somebody they age, they gonna have to come with it.
Oh, somebody brought up Jay-Z. Boo. Nah, that's not. But
I feel like if you
my ex. Hold up, Casey. Hold up. Jewel says Jay-Z dated Beyonce when she was 19. Not gonna hold y'all though. So are we gonna address that? Right? There's a lot of people in the industry.
I can address that. I thought it was wrong back then. Still think it was.
He just did it to control her.
That man is 11 years older than her, and I speak that because of experience. The man, my first husband, is 11 years older than me, and honestly, I think that is too big of a gap for a 19-year-old and a 30-year-old.
That's about control.
I'm gonna throw this in. And 30. I'm gonna throw this in. I'm the youngest.
Go ahead.
I'm the youngest of 4. And I have always looked at people that fell into the age ranges of my siblings. I'm like, if you're not trying to talk to my sister, why are you trying to talk to me? Because I feel like you're trying to control me. Because like a woman your age or closest to your age is not gonna, certain things. So then you look at me like, oh, well, she's a little girl, so I can put more control. So I was never with like dating too far ahead. My eldest brother is like 15 years older than me. If you were anywhere in the age range, bruh, no, can't talk to you.
What's up, Rob?
I think we still conflating what the meme is with dating. He's not talking about dating. He's talking about having sex. And for a lot of men, hitting it once or twice is fine. I've done it. I don't need to do it again. And in that case, as a 26-year-old, if he just wants to smash a 19-year-old, he's not worried about what she can do, what tricks she knows, how mature she is. He just want to get his rocks off. And it says you don't gotta do much of anything for most men for them to get their rocks off. So it's like this doesn't this doesn't offend me as much as DJ Academics, who recently said or in an interview that if she's 17 and on a college campus, she can get it. He's like, I'll fuck. And I'm like, that's what hit me, because I'm like, she's still legally a minor.
Yeah, but Rob,
in most states,
think about it. If you're a 26-year-old and you're trying to smash a 19-year-old, first of all, you should be aware that she's probably not mentally mature enough for you to just be smashing and passing her. So that makes you even more of a dirtbag. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. He is. I'm not disagreeing with him not being a dirt. He is a dirtbag. But all of this stuff that y'all talking about that he should be looking for, and maybe he wants to control it. No, he don't want to do that. I just want to simplify it. He just wants to hit. He ain't trying to be in a relationship with her.
And I'm from the school of thought that even a 19-year-old, you can't necessarily be controlled at 19. I've always been my Virgo. You're not controlling me. I'm going to have control self, even at 19. And I always dated older men. So,
and that was me. I'm not going to be controlled, but I definitely wasn't talking to no old heads.
Like, me neither. They had to be my age, only a year older.
Oh, yeah, for real. I like how someone said, "What if it was a woman?" Same thing.
5 years.
Yeah. Somebody said in the comments, if you couldn't have gone to school together, then it's a little sus. I like that rule.
I mean, at the end of the day, the whole thing seems predatory. At the end of it's selective around 19. If it's organic and you meet someone, they happen to be 19, I understand that things happen. But to go out and to hunt, I'm gonna use that word intentionally, to hunt a 19-year-old individual, you are a predator. You should be castrated with no anesthesia, and you should kick rocks.
I had a 27-year-old lady when I was about 18, 19 years old, and absolutely changed my life. I appreciate her to this day. It depends on that 19-year-old. I'll leave it at that. And we can.
I agree.
Was that woman a predator?
In only the best ways.
50 Shades of Grey.
I think this is a hilarious conversation because I think Cam wants to talk about something that's related to this, and that's sex on the first date between two mutually consenting adults.
Well, thank you, Angela, for saying the topic. Yes, my topic is sex on the first date. Should you or shouldn't you?
And will you be judged if you do?
No, fuck judgment.
Well, here's the thing.
I feel like that energy has to be there. We might not. But if that energy is not there on the first date, then what are we doing wasting our time? We should just move on.
We're
Show
grown.
hands.
Second date.
What kind of question is this?
Show of hands. Who's done that?
No, I haven't.
That's a little personal.
Wait, sex on the first date?
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah. Is it a date or the first time meeting somebody?
Oh no, date.
Oh,
Definitely
my
not
husband
first
told me
What's the
I
difference?
first night.
That's
That's
different.
a big
You know,
difference.
that's
I
a big
will,
difference.
yeah,
Years
I will
later.
not. If we're
Yes,
talking about
Darian,
first
fuck judgment. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
no, we're saying
Pause
first
for a
date,
second.
yes. If we're
Hold on for 1
talking
second.
anything
I need
outside
to
of
make
that,
sure.
respectfully,
Hold up for a second, Angela. I need to understand, are we talking about a date or the first time you are engaging with someone, you end up having sex?
That
my
is a
Lord.
very good distinction.
But then that's
Well,
what
It's a one night stand, though. Wouldn't that be a one night stand?
Yeah, that'd be a one night stand.
Never had
No,
a
a one night stand is like you have a one night and never go back.
And you
Right.
can do that with
you
someone
just
you
meet
know.
somebody
Right.
who smashed that night, and that's it.
No.
But sometimes sex on the
Married.
first date can turn into a marriage.
Yeah, but see,
Thank
that's
you.
the thing. A
First
first
date
date
is
is something you
different.
planned, right? You met this person, y'all have exchanged schedules, y'all agree to meet up at a place. That's not
You
smashing
talk.
on the first night. That's
I
I
one
never
night
had
feel
stand.
sex on the first date.
Yeah.
All I know is you don't go into a new restaurant and just read the menu and leave. You go into a new restaurant and you want to taste the spaghetti and meatballs. You want to see what the Parmesan cheese. You might want to taste the mango recipe. Hell,
Right. You want to get the smorgasbord.
Kim, anything else you want to taste? Anything else
Spaghetti
you
and
want to
meatballs, Frank and beans. Okay.
Ew, no.
Freaking beans.
No, ew.
Wait, hold on.
That sounds. Never mind. Shut up.
Does it change things if you meet a girl that does that? Because I feel like guys can get away with that, but girls can't. Like all of a sudden, it's I'm treating you different. I'm putting you in this category versus the wifey category, and it's all this stigma attached to it. Where a guy can go out on the first date and he's like, "Oh, I smashed, I hit it," and it's like nothing. So.
Nah.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You meet
Yeah.
a girl, it's a real strong connection, and in the night, y'all just like, yo, I gotta have this. The next day, are you calling her? Are you saying, wow, she's a really nice girl, I want to see her again?
I'm looking for a call.
Absolutely. I
If it's
snatched
good.
his soul and he's calling me nonstop.
It depends on
If it's good.
That's
right.
a grown man answer. Thank you.
Shit,
Boo.
that's my boyfriend. For all I'm
Yeah.
concerned, that's
if
my
it's
boyfriend
an
now.
enjoyable experience.
Yeah, I think the distinction is important. The first time meeting versus the first date. The first date, you have tried to impress me. You have taken me out, and I'm there. I'm ready. It's the first date. The first time meeting, I probably. Let me shut up. Never mind. Let me shut
Okay,
up.
but
I'm gonna shut up.
look, usually you're
collect
talking on
myself.
the
All I'ma
phone
say is
before you
this.
even meet the
One at a
person.
time.
Cassie just pled the fifth.
She
Go
did plead
ahead.
the fifth. We heard
Yeah,
it too.
if the chemistry's there,
Is like
you're grown.
if the chemistry is there, you feeling it, why not? Especially if you're two grown consenting adults. And all I'm going to say is, for people who know me personally, #Cuba. Goodbye.
Who? What? No, goodbye.
What
What?
happened? What happened in Cuba?
We may talk about that on our podcast. I'll save that for another time.
Wait, what is that?
That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm tuning in for that one. Like, make sure you DM me when that podcast.
Okay.
You know the story. Trust me.
I don't know the story. What? I found out.
You do know the story.
You do know.
I do know the story.
Yes, think
Listen,
hard.
I don't know the story, and I can't wait to hear it on the Meeting the Ladies Room podcast.
Look, Little John just said that she knows somebody whose sex on the first date turned into a 20-year marriage.
Yeah, I can
It
imagine
I
that.
think what Casey said is very important, though. it really parallels to it's intentional to do a date. You can you can force dump yourself into some sex, like by accident. You could be out having a good time with your girls, having a good time with your boys, and next thing you know, you're like, man, I like her. I like him. Y'all may go to the bathroom. You may go to the car. You may go to the hotel, go back to his place, her mama's place, his daddy's place. Whatever y'all go, you can have activities that expand. Now, I think the other question y'all asked was, what happens the next day? It depends on that night. If we went meet to meet, we're probably gonna call again. We're probably gonna call again if we go meet to meet. That means if we go, naked head type of thing.
What are you talking about? Me? No, I need an explanation. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's why I want to make sure people understood what I was talking about. But I believe if you have sex the very first time meeting somebody, or whether it be the first date or whatnot, you more than likely, I would say it's probably about a 60% chance you will call that person again. 100% chance if it's a fantastic experience. If it is trash on both accounts, either you don't want the phone call or you ain't making the phone call.
Yeah.
Or embarrassing one-time story.
I've heard even if it's trash that first time, you have to at least have a follow-up just to confirm that it was trash. That's what I've been told. I don't know.
You got to do it a second time just to see. It could have been a bad time.
I don't know that for a fact.
You could have been drunk.
You got to do it like you got to give them a second chance sometimes if you like.
No, you don't.
What's the rule?
Ain't no second chances.
I do.
I don't know if I was thinking if I should share this or not, but
we've already talked about it.
Ideally, it's a 2-time minimum, right? But this is not a one night stand or somebody that you went out with at the first date. This is in general. It's a 2-time minimum because some people have nerves the first go around, so you're trying to figure people out, fill them out a little bit, so you go back the second time to confirm or deny if the skill set was what you think, or if it was an anomaly. So,
No, there's levels to trash. There are levels because let's be real. If he come in there licking my face, which has happened, you licking my face though. It's my face. You see this? You see how much time y'all don't see this? I put a lot of time into this beat. You licking my face though, I'm not doing it ever. Never.
Like a full lick.
A full lick with the lip and the lip.
Now your face smell like spit.
Right. I mean, come on,
stinky ass breath.
What?
We know if it's nerves.
You could have had the breath of Jesus. You licking my face. You understand? This is a long time to be.
Right.
Thank you, Shoshana. Do you get a second chance to an interview? Thank you.
I saw that coming.
Yes, sometimes you do. See, now y'all make me feel bad. I think there should be a second chance.
Thank you, Cassie.
It depends. If he was all like, "Yeah, I got this. I'm good. I'll make you. I'm the best," and it was trash, no. But if it was just genuine and y'all had a connection and it was just you didn't come or whatever, yeah, give him a second chance. Be nice.
Thank you, Casey.
I agree with her.
Thank you, Casey.
About it. Oh, fuck you. Like, who wants to do that again?
What y'all
his personality. I'm putting it on him.
What you gotta recognize is
we need to take this discussion over to the Meeting in the Ladies Room podcast. Which is going to be coming up.
The ladies in the chat have so much more to say about
podcast because we got another meme to get everybody's, you know what I'm saying, opinion on. Ra, you got the meme?
Give me a second.
So it's basically like one of these who deserves, there's like one chair and then 4 people. Oh, there you go. So for people who can't see this, there is a mother with like an infant, looks like she's breastfeeding.
Yep.
There's a man with a broken leg. There's an old man, and then there's a pregnant woman. So there's one chair.
The broken leg man is also holding himself up with a pair of crutches.
Right, right. And the old man's just old. And the woman is pregnant. So who should get the chair?
I'm gonna go with B.
I go with B.
I go with B. He's black.
B.
Yeah. Black. Come on, y'all. Y'all can't breastfeed standing up.
I sure did. I sure did.
I'm gonna go with B.
I breastfed any and everywhere. Any and everywhere.
But if you had a choice to sit down, wouldn't you prefer to sit?
Not until the man is staring at me with his crutches and broken leg. No, you go ahead and watch me feed this baby on my titty. No,
you got crutches. You good?
I would give him the seat. Go ahead. I can do this. I can do this in a chair. I can do this over there. I can do this anywhere.
Come on, Dr. Seuss.
Nah. You got crutches. You good.
Edition.
I'm about equality.
He said you got crutches. He's good.
Crutches aren't that, crutches after a while, they hard to maneuver.
But he looks so
navigate.
Sad.
And then what happens is
he good. It's only going to take
your
me 15
arms
minutes
aren't
to
right,
empty this titty, and then we can go.
If your arms aren't strong enough, then you end up leaning on the crutches, and then you end up breaking blood vessels and get swollen under your armpits.
And seen.
Right, it's gonna take me 15
minutes. He's gonna get a whole boil under his armpit, right, Rob?
15 minutes to empty this boob out. Just let me get this boob emptied out, and then you can sit down.
And you don't know what's causing him to have the cast on. He might have pins in his leg. He may be swollen. His blood could be draining. Like that could be a painful thing.
I'm about
standing there in pain.
So
all of them need to stay on the floor.
Yeah, home.
You guys are being biased.
I only say that because I have experience with plaster casts on legs having to be on crutches. That is not the easiest thing. I feel for the brother.
You guys You guys have been biased because of the colors of the people that were on the screen.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm. The old white man ain't getting a chair no matter what.
No matter what.
That's the point.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he ain't getting no matter what. I'm sorry.
And that's not good.
If it was an older black
Rosa,
woman,
Ashanti.
If it was an older black woman,
it was an old black woman.
Look, I'm about equality.
The responses would be different, but because of the color on the screen, it was a black woman that was breastfeeding that was sending up who looked very spry. You had the dude a black brother that was in a cast, an old white guy, well, it appeared to be an old white guy, and a woman who was pregnant, a black woman that was pregnant. I think that is playing a significant role in how people are ranking who gets to seat and who doesn't.
I can honestly say I've been a breastfeeding mother. I've been a pregnant woman. If I saw someone sitting on a New York City subway, or if I saw a man getting on with crutches and a Band-Aid under his eye and he looked tired, I would get up, and I could get up. I could breastfeed standing up. No, I would not want to. I have literally breastfeed while getting my car inspected, and the man was in front because my baby was crying. I breastfed everywhere. So I know that I would be able to do this standing up, and I was pregnant standing up. I mean, so I would do it no matter the color, skin.
Cassie, can we just talk about how black women are always putting everyone else first?
That part too.
Right, because you're pregnant and you're nursing, you should not be standing anywhere. I'm just going to say that and leave it alone. I'm tired of black women falling on the floor because we feel like we need to be protecting and somebody else. F that. I'm feeding my baby. I'm sitting down, and when I'm done, then you can sit down.
Come on.
Well, what about the black man? What about the black man?
I'm sitting for 15 minutes to empty this titty because you know how it is. Your boob gets too full.
It hurts.
And that shit hurts. You good for 15 minutes, my boo, because if I can't empty this titty out, I'm like this for the rest of the day till I get home.
It hurts so bad.
I got one little question though.
Nah, you good, bro.
And hold on. For the record, I'm loving the fact that these women are on the show because we getting some wrong. They literally saying the word titty. Like this is, I'm loving this.
They're titties.
Hey, I love that question. So if you are breastfeeding, and we don't know that she's breastfeeding, by the way, but we just gonna run with that. Let's say she's breastfeeding. She could be comfortable standing up. She could conceivably, do what she needs to do. The pregnant woman has no control over her comfort. The baby's gonna do what the baby's gonna do. I feel like the pregnant woman has dibs, and she should be the person that gets the seat. Because the nursing mother can do that standing up. She can do whatever she needs to do. The pregnant woman is gonna be uncomfortable. She's standing up, sitting down. Let her sit down.
I mean, but she looked like she about to pop, so I feel like she needs to stand to get that baby out. That's why she's standing.
This is all.
She might need to walk. Hurts at the bottom. It hurts at the bottom. Like it literally feels like you're holding a baby up with your cooch.
Yeah,
so
really
it hurts like
Minute.
really bad.
Wait a minute. That's fascinating. Hold on.
Yeah,
Internet, I want y'all to listen to this.
imagine. I don't know what the equivalent
Yes.
would be for you, but standing up 8 to 9 months pregnant, it literally feels like there's like a finger holding all that weight up. It
yes.
Oh, Cassie, you're making me cramp.
Yeah,
Ooh.
no more babies over here. But that shit hurts. It like,
Yeah, it does.
but I agree with Jewel. The pregnant woman's gonna be all right. That baby ain't gonna fall nowhere. And if it does, heaven help us. Like that's great. Get it out. Go bye.
You are not going to get this kind of information anywhere else other than the Straight No Chaser podcast and Meeting in the Ladies Room podcast.
Where we
That's
say
where we
titty.
talk about this.
Right.
But
We say titty.
And so they all need to sit on the floor. Next.
There you go.
Sit your ass on the floor.
I think Darren has said in the comments that just take Uber. Solve all this.
Exactly. Get your ass in the Uber and you'll be all right. You can have a seat anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you.
Comments are popping tonight.
Right. I like that. I like that. The comments is popping.
And then
I'm totally blown away by that whole. I've never thought about it, but it makes all the sense in the world where it's like you holding the baby in with your internal muscles, let's say.
The internal muscles you put penis in, y'all. So think about that.
Wow.
Clearly, there's going to be a woman that's going to take the seat. I think both of those guys will be just fine. Just because you're old, you need to sit your ass down.
Well, that's so nice.
I mean, the old man probably wants to stand up. He probably wants to feel like, yo, I can handle this. Let the women take the seat.
Well, you know, right that you want to be.
Now on,
You know,
fuck the old man then. From now on, I'm gonna sit my ass down. Okay. Okay, so
Casey's tipsy, y'all.
I've been thinking about something for a little while now. So I have a question for the fellows, and of course, ladies, if I want you to chime in too. So, as some of you may know, I have had body contouring a time or two. I love it. But when I go,
define that for me. I don't know what that means.
Body contouring is non-invasive, non-surgical, heat lamps, lasers, wood therapy, all different types of things.
You said wood therapy?
Yeah, don't ask me anymore because I don't understand what it means. My body contours does it and it works, and so I don't ask questions.
I'm gonna Google that.
Thank you. Yes, Google.
Like
Perfect.
actual wood. Actual wood.
Oh,
not his wood.
Thank you, Jen. I didn't think I had to clarify that. There's like
where are we going? Where are we going? I like it.
That's the kind of work I need.
No judgment.
Okay. I've had body contouring, but when I go to my body contours, there's only women there. And so it'll take off like an inch or two of your belly fat or your thigh fat. It's supposed to help with cellulite. You could do your chin, all this type of shit that, you know, I don't necessarily need my chin, but my stomach and my thighs. But when I go, there's only women there. My question to the fellas primarily is body contouring okay for women and not for men? Or is that something you would do? We all have insecurities, right?
Honestly,
Like
I had never heard of this until you just told me about it. I did not know it existed. You said that you can get 1 to 2 inches taken off your stomach. I will do that shit tomorrow.
Will it help? Will it help with man titties?
My man, yes.
Will it help?
know.
Will it help like lessen the man titties?
I have a question.
Moves.
I would not do that personally. But my question is, how long does it last? Is it a permanent solution, or is it kind of like? So it's kind of like a temporary. It's an illusion, optical illusion.
For me, like it works if you work it. You have to drink the water. You have to not eat like crazy. So if I'm going away for the weekend, like when I go to Vegas, I'm getting body contouring before I go to Vegas because I have
getting some.
I want to be, perfect in. I don't know, for myself.
They said middies moves.
Y'all are mean. First of all, y'all are mean.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
but it's not lipo. It's not necessarily lipo, but yes, it's the next wave. It's cheaper. It's non-invasive. It's not a surgery. So
I'll say, Casey, to answer
your
question. To answer your question, the reason you probably don't see a lot of men there is because that doesn't matter to us. Because ideally, it doesn't really matter to y'all, at least historically. what women are attracted to is, at least what the masses have all kind of, I guess, agreed upon in general, is confidence, how much money you make, etc. Are you able to be providing, and do you got some swag? I mean, that's the same thing in confidence, but I think that takes it to another level. If you got all of those things in concert, then I mean, we've seen plenty of people who don't look good that got a beautiful woman on their side, or women.
Rick Ross.
So it doesn't necessarily make it different how your appearance is if you have the financial means where people are like, man, this dude this person has some money. Now there could be some women who will be like, man, I wouldn't date him. I get that, right? I'm saying in a blanket sense, you could be straight if you got some bread. Now, me personally, I ain't got that kind of bread, but I'm good. But I wouldn't do it. I work out. I take care of myself. My wife is good. I like when I take my shirt off. I'm straight. So, hell no, I'm straight. I'm good.
But let me ask you this: if at some point you realize a couple months down the road, and you notice your gut was getting a little bigger, or your moobs or middies, I think that's a mean term.
Middies.
Whoever wrote that, I think that's kind of mean. Okay,
middies.
Yeah, Casey. Again,
if your middies grew, would you maybe then say, shh, don't tell nobody? I'm gonna go over here and pay this $60 to have her rub the stuff on my middies.
He gonna get the middies rubbed.
Nah, I'm straight.
Get the middies rubbed.
Are you just gonna let them
rub? Get the middies rubbed.
Nah, I'm good.
Oh, that's a go-go song too. Maybe.
Get the middies rubbed. Get the middies rubbed.
Okay.
I wish for the people who can't see this, I wish y'all can see this, because the visual 5 women jiggling themselves.
I'm sorry. This is a serious topic. I really want to know.
I don't think the average dude is going to do body contouring, because it's caught up in this whole it's caught up in a whole wave of plastic surgery, and the average dude on the corner will not submit himself to plastic surgery. That is a feminine thing in the predominant thought.
Well, can you not say it that way though? Because
no, I'm saying it the way
person that sounds very like straight.
I'm saying it in the way that I think a lot of men view it. I'm not saying in the way that I view it.
Done all the time. I've been there, and there's a bunch of gay men there.
Yeah,
so what are you saying? They're not men?
Look, I'm not. No, I didn't say that. That didn't come out my mouth.
Let's get spicy.
I'm telling you.
No safer.
I'm talking right now from the perspective of cisgendered heterosexual men.
What's the song?
I'm putting it in a box. I'm putting it in a box, and I don't think they would do it because they view it as a feminine thing. I'm not putting value on it. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm answering the question: why don't they do it? I don't think they would do it because they're like, women get plastic surgery.
I agree.
Live in that world though, because it's a theater world, and that there's men that are totally straight that are getting it done because our image in that culture, you have to look a certain way. So if I'm going out for a gig and I have a modeling gig, you best to believe it's a whole bunch of straight men in there getting their titties sucked down, and they're
okay.
When you compare that whole bunch to men en masse,
I
think the proportions will be a little bit different.
Yeah, I would say the numbers of guys who engage in that world are probably more anecdotal as it compares to women who spend time in that space. And if I'm speaking to Rod's point and to the question or the statement that Jenna's making, cisgendered individuals who identify themselves as men and women, I think more than the masses of women will be more in that space than men.
So do you think, and we can talk about this more like on our show, but do you think it's because cis heterosexual men spend more time in the gym, so they don't really look at it as like, okay.
I don't think a lot of men spend time in the gym, because I don't think the gym matters. Like as a I think for cisgender men historically in America, in society, it doesn't matter what men look like. If you have what people look at as power, or you have authority, or if you have financial means, it does not matter.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
For the women, would you be attracted to a man that was always at the body contourist or was talking about the next plastic surgery?
Yes, hook me up. Let's do this together, boo.
No.
If you got a good doctor,
Let's do this together, boo.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this.
Can we get a discount?
If y'all want to know how the women really feel, meet us in the ladies' room.
Contour curving that, Victoria.
I saw what you did there, Jen. That's what I'm talking about.
We'll talk about it more.
We'll have to continue it later.
So let me ask you a question, since we're gonna take a quick pivot. I'll ask it one way and then I'll come back and I'll ask it a second way, so we can get the conversation different perspective. Do you feel that husbands, in order to as an effective means of birth control, should they be responsible for getting vasectomies versus relying on the wife to always be on a pill or get an IUD or what have you? Angela, I saw your hand go up.
Yes.
Quick.
I love you so much, baby. I just want to say that. But after our 5th child, my doctor literally was like, bitch, you done. And it didn't make any sense for me to go on a birth control because of medical problems that I have. And I know that he was a little, intimidated by it. But I could tell that, if I didn't do it, it wasn't gonna get done. So I found the doctor, made the appointment, made sure that he had it right there and back and support and all of that. So it just happened because I feel like I'm not having any more babies. And if you want to be up in this, you need to do something about it. I love you, baby.
Now, did you demand that? Do you like, yo, you need to do this?
I don't think it was more of a demand, right? It was more of a this is what it is. You know what I mean? I feel like this is it's a conversation that you have with your partner. I would never say that I would want to force him to do it, but I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like there would be restrictions around access until that gets done. So I do think it's a personal decision. I think it's an important conversation that couples need to have with each other. I don't feel like it's anything that someone should demand or force, but I feel like if you understand that your wife is or your partner is coming to you from the perspective of, hey, this is more about my health than anything else, then I would do it. Now, I know about people who say get a vasectomy because I don't want you to have any more kids after me or whatever, and I think that's fucked up. But if it's for a genuine medical thing for your woman or your partner, then I think it's cool. But outside, I can't. I'll make the appointment for you. I'll drive you there and stand over you. But I'm not gonna say I'm gonna force you to do it. I'm just.
Is it painful? Is it painful?
Girl, no.
It's not painful.
Bag of peas for 2 days. He drove himself home. Like it's such a less invasive procedure than a woman going to get her tubes tied or something of that nature, right? So for me, it's just an easy decision. If you want to talk about not having kids anymore together as a couple, a vasectomy is hands down going to be easier than a woman going and getting something permanent done to her.
So I'm gonna say this. I looked at the lady's TikTok who posted about her husband. She wanted him to have a vasectomy. I think, first off, single, no kids. So really don't have a dog in the fight, but I'm still gonna talk about it. So she is like in her 40s. He's like in his 20s. So do you think it's fair for her to say, like, I want you to have a vasectomy and not have any more kids, seeing that like her window of having kids might close? And if they do get a divorce or whatever, things happen, like, is it okay for her to say, like, you can't have other kids when this man is much younger than her? Like, I think that's out of pocket.
Yeah, that's out of pocket. That's completely out of pocket.
I think that's pretty selfish.
Yeah.
Darren asks, can it be undone? And that's a good question. Can it be undone?
It can be undone.
In some cases, yes, it can be, but you know, it's not something necessarily that you want to risk, right? If you ever think that there's going to be an option for you to have kids in the future. I know for both of us, we were done. I have 5 children. I have had 2 with my current husband, and he knew he wanted 2 and he would be done. Clearly, I'm not having no more babies. It's not happening for me. So let's just shut down the factory. Like, if I was getting a C-section for my last baby, I would have definitely got my tubes tied, but that just wasn't the case. So if we're talking about what makes it easier, it's definitely easier for the man to do it. But I don't feel like you should place that type of demand on your partner if it's not for a reason that is specifically about your health. And you guys have both agreed that y'all never having kids again.
I want to point out what Shoshana said. I just want to say and put it out there for the men.
Can you read what she said?
Is this the comment?
I say share. Yeah, thank you. I say share the responsibility. Birth control pills are 100% safe, but not many men seem concerned about the side effects. I'm not going to go into my story or my history with birth control or anything like that, or why I have 2 kids, because fuck birth control. That shit sucks.
It's some bullshit. That's why I got 5.
I'm not really trying to say it as a joke.
Crew.
It is
as a
not
staff or record label and as a crew.
It makes you feel like a non-human. It makes you feel asexual. Birth control for women, at least for me, and I know a lot of people, it's not what's up. It is not what's up, and it's literally why I have my oldest daughter, because I said, fuck it. You're going to take care of a kid, or you're going to put a condom on, because I'm done. I'm done having sex with this. I'm done feeling it, and that's why she's here. You know, thank God. But and then I got an IUD. I literally got thrown across the room because Black men apparently can feel them, and I tried.
Wow.
I tried to trick him, and the doctor said, I'll cut it so low he'll never feel it. Well, the first time I fucked with it, he threw me across the room because he could still feel it, and he got upset because I lied to him. So, fuck birth control. It's not a game.
That sounds horrible.
That's serious.
He said I had a needle in my shit. Well, I don't know what to fucking tell you, because I'm not taking birth control anymore. So we're just going to have a bunch of...
I would like to say, not all Black men. Okay. So some Black men.
He can feel mine. And my
real. I mean, we're going to do stereotypes, but we ain't going to go there, because some of y'all out here are not in that category.
Y'all ain't going to feel it. So don't get up in your woman and be like, hey, baby, did you get an IUD? No.
I don't know.
Wait a minute, like, ain't nothing different.
Listen.
Know.
Okay? I wanted to pivot to, whether or not, it was still kosher to say, yeah, you need to get this vasectomy so you can't have kids after us. But y'all already touched on that. So at this point, I'm just going to alley-oop it to the ladies, because I know y'all got another topic.
So it is Pride Month. Yay! Y'all better cheer, motherfuckers. Woo! Yes. So in that respect, I'm the queer, I guess, one on the show. I'm not gonna say I guess. I date bi, trans, anything that breathes and buys me dinner. Hit my inbox, y'all. Hit my inbox. Got you. But with that, I've been finding a lot of men, more bisexual men, and they're afraid to come out and say they're bisexual because of the stigma that's behind it. But also, why is it okay for women? Drake has a new song out that's all about women kissing other women. And why is it not okay for a woman, for a man to be bisexual? I want to ask the guys first, because y'all are men, and so us women have our...
Yeah, why they won't just come out?
Yeah, those are 2 separate questions. Why is it not okay for a man to be bisexual? Well, if he ain't bisexual, he ain't bisexual. So it is not a matter of it not being okay. It's just like asking a gay dude, why isn't it okay for you to be straight? It just won't work like that. Well, now to Cam's question, if they are bisexual, why won't they come out? I think it takes a hell of a lot of courage to come out as a member of the BTQ community in America. It takes a hell of a lot of courage. And I think for these black men who get to fly under the radar, they would be crazy to be like, oh yeah, because this idea that they could dibble and dabble on both sides would scare the hell out of a lot of heterosexual women. And if they want to have women as a part of their, sexual diddlings, then they're gonna lie so that they can continue to have women and then go on ahead and continue to have men. That's like with most relationships. Dudes will not be honest, whether it's gay, straight, bi. They're not going to be honest with a woman for fear that they're going to lose the woman because of their honesty. So what do? We just lie.
Right.
We take away the option.
Whoa, you giving away the secrets here.
I'm sorry, my bad.
You went way left field.
Listen, stop. Let that man speak his truth.
It's the truth. Like, we want to remove the option. Like, ladies be like, I just want
like a man, date like a man.
I just want the option. We could be like, no, because your option may be that you leave me. Nah. So I'm gonna tell you what I want you to hear till I can get what I want. And then if it comes out, it comes out, and I deal with the consequences later. I think the bisexual dudes are doing the same thing.
So why is it hot for a girl to be a bisexual and they can have songs about it, but not a dude?
Well, if we gonna be real, it's not a contemporary thing. It's not something that just started last week. If you go back and you look at the Tao of Love and Sex, if you look at Kama Sutra, this whole idea of two women having sex with each other as a part of a higher level of sensuality has been around since the beginning of sex and sexuality. So it's not a new thing. It's just that hip hop got a hold of it, and hip hop, and these are just my opinions, y'all. I have no data, no statistical proof, or no empirical anything. I think when it comes to hip hop and popular culture, we slaves, we're sheep. We follow whatever the music puts out there, and we do it mindlessly. So that's just my opinion.
But when you look back at like historical things, if you really take it all the way back, homosexuality has been a part of like the world forever. So it's not just looking at it and saying that there are women that are shown together being sexual or provocative. Like if you look back at certain hieroglyphics, whatever, like homosexuality has been there in the Bible. Folks don't want to think that, but it's there. So,
I mean,
I got a question.
I mean, just a whole bunch of penis in one room. Who wouldn't like that?
What's up with that?
Cam is hilarious. I'll jump out there, Jenna, for your question. Why is it okay for women to be bi but not men? I think the men who are actually bi don't share with the world that they're bi, quite frankly, because either they're afraid the consequences of sharing whatever their truth is. I'm gonna use this terminology, and I don't even know if it's even appropriate. Well, I'm just sticking with the fear. There's a fear factor I think that's associated with, depending on where you live, particularly if they're Black in the Black community, for sure, to be gay, to be any member of the LGBTQ plus IA, community. It is so much stigmatism associated with that. You would be almost a fool, damn near, to come out and say you are associated with that. You have to be brave. Right,
and don't live below the Bible Belt.
Ooh.
Don't live anywhere. I mean, there are plenty of people who have come out who have been a part of the community who have been killed, persecuted in a variety of different ways. So I think there's a lot of things associated with being in that position to say, hey, I'm in this category. People presume so much. Like you could look at somebody and say, well, you're a woman, you're a man. It's an assumption, right? At this point. And people project whatever they think that the relationship status that they should have on said people because they look like a man, you should be with a woman. You look like a woman, you should be with a man. And so if you bump that trend, then it could be problematic for you from a career standpoint. You may not go as far depending on your profession. Your money could be capped. Where you live, I mean, your neighbors could find out. All of these things could happen, and so it's socially, especially in America, it's not as accepted to be a bisexual man as it is to be a bisexual woman. I remember when I was growing up watching HBO, I always saw scenes of women, if I'm watching stuff like that, right? Women on women scenes were prevalent on
You watching
HBO.
Pornhub? Stop.
Right? Cut it out.
No, I'm in my
Come
40s.
on. We
Pornhub
all
didn't
watch
exist.
porn.
He
Janet,
said when
when
he
I
was
was
a
We over
child.
here with this.
when I was growing up,
Like, what is
Pornhub
that?
didn't exist. So what you saw was women
Yes,
on women, Lady Elizabeth, whatever her name was, like all
Real
of that kind of
sex.
stuff. They was on with women on women, but you didn't see
That's
guys on guys.
position.
That was a very rare occurrence if you saw any guy that was homosexual or even in that community on television. Now it's much more prevalent. It's a part of the dialogue, part of the context. So, you know, I think the evolution is occurring for people who are in that realm to be more comfortable in that space. But we're not there yet where they can just be like, you know what, I'm bisexual. Hey, I'm bisexual.
Right.
Well, let's all hang out. I don't think it's there yet.
Well, I'm happy that you guys obliged me. So we can talk more about that on our show. Also,
Wait, can I ask a question before you pivot out of there?
Mm-hmm.
If ladies, so let's say you're dating a dude, and out of nowhere he brings home a strap-on. And he says he wants you to peg him. Would you automatically assume he was bi or gay, and then would you do it? Because I'm hearing a lot of podcasts with a lot of women running around pegging dudes.
But
So
don't
I'm gonna say this.
male anatomy.
Like, I have an example. I was just watching this show. I think it's on V8.
Has anybody on the show pegged anybody before?
I'm not. Nobody's admitting to that one.
Nothing you do with a woman is homosexual behavior, including if she penetrates you.
Thank you.
Okay,
So
so we're
ladies.
gonna wrap this up.
I don't think that I would, just because of how I see
That's
myself in
interesting.
a role when I'm interacting with cis
Is it for money?
heterosexual males.
Is it for money?
But my whole thing is, when it comes down to anything that's like sexually related, like if you're doing it, it doesn't affect me. Like, if I don't get any pleasure out of what is happening, I don't care how you get your orgasm. You know what I'm saying? But if you bring it into my space and now it is me considering like who I would want to be with, I personally have my beliefs on what I would be attracted to and like, and I'm not putting on a strap on. Like, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
First of all, it's too much
Would you
work.
put on the strap on for another woman?
No.
It's too
Look,
much.
listen,
Be with another woman.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw a pin in this, because clearly,
Right.
Y'all can take that.
when we
We
meet
got a lot to talk about.
when we meet in the ladies' room, you clearly see what's happening. It's steamy in there. Like, you know, if you get naked if you need to, but it goes down in the ladies' room. What?
Yeah, because I have some questions now.
You know, so there is a this story is a little bit dated. However, I think it's relevant to bring up with the women on the show tonight, and it's about a divorce. And there's a story of an older guy. He was dating a younger woman, probably about 40 years his junior, and they were dating, got engaged, got married, and probably about 4 or 5 months into the marriage, I should say, they traveled into the Dominican Republic, and in the DR, it's one of those countries where it's a one-tiered person divorce. So you have to have two people to say, I want to get a divorce. One person can say, I want to get a divorce, and that's what the guy did. He said, I want to get divorced. She had no idea. This dude was old, 40 years her senior. He died. She thought she was getting paid. She ain't getting nothing. She found out he divorced her, right?
Her fault.
So thinking about divorce from that context, right, and paralleling it, in America, in the U.S., is it okay in the U.S. for people when they get divorced for somebody to get a meal ticket? You come up on half of the next person's assets. Is that a worthy kind of outcome for separating yourself from somebody else? How do y'all feel about that? Is that cool or not?
That is such a good question.
Very good question.
Yes. I feel like that depends on the relationship, right? I feel like if it was a situation where, the husband was the one who was following his career path, and the wife was there supporting him, keeping the house, keeping the kids, not really stepping out there to work for herself, just being at home and making sure that everything is taken care of there so he can move forward in his career, then yeah, if you're going to leave her, then she should be compensated for the time spent in helping you get to where you are. Because let's just be real, it's hard, you know what I mean, to hold down house in support of your man, especially if you're holding down a house and you working and supporting your man in his career. You know what I'm saying?
It's half.
That's what it is. You didn't. Were you able to get where you were without that woman beside you, making sure
picking
that
up the
house
other
was
half
taken
of the
care
house?
of? Yes, the house is taken care of. The kids are taken care of. All you have to do, baby, is show up and do what you do best, and that's it.
I got a real quick question.
Casey,
you also feel the same way?
Hold up, Jay. Hold up, Jay, for a second. I just want to hear what Casey, because she's married too, on the panel. I just want to hear what she may have to say about it.
Cassie. Y'all don't want to hear what I have to
Go ahead, Cassie. Say it.
Cassie.
It's a hard yes. It's a hard yes. You cannot get where you're going if somebody's not holding it down. You cannot build a business and scale up that business if somebody's not holding you down with your health insurance, taking care of the kids, rooting you on when you get a flat tire on that business and you have to go out at 2 a.m. and fix it and go into our savings to fix it. So absolutely, I don't care what the situation is, and I don't care if it's male or female.
Thank you.
Vice versa. You cannot build a business and not have background funds and support. So absolutely, in my opinion, absolutely have. So every meme, every story that we hear about Dr. Dre and that motherfucker beat her, yeah,
and DMX,
half, he'll be all right.
Yeah,
go ahead, Jay.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jay.
If the genders are reversed and the husband is at home and he's taking care of the kids and the wife is successful, et cetera, they decide to split. Is it the same energy or a little bit different?
It is the same.
I'm gonna jump on that one because one of my best friends, God rest his soul, he was a stay-at-home father, and so I supported him in all of that. And when it came down to their relationship falling apart or whatever, there were things that he wasn't able to do because she hadn't, like given him that position or whatever. But I don't think that it necessarily means that just because it's a man that he's not warranted to receive something if you get a divorce or whatever. It's like if you are the person who's at home helping to build this person up and giving them the space to go follow their dreams and become whatever. It's like if your relationship breaks up and you have been at home, you should be compensated for like being at home. You shouldn't have to just like be tossed to the side. So man or woman, you deserve something for being the at-home person who held it down.
I think it's cool for people to get compensated. I think the issue that at least that I run into is the 50% piece. I think if you have a recording contract, there are percentages.
If he was at home holding it down, taking care of the kids,
there are percentages that are allocated to people who are in contracts. They don't get 50%. It just don't happen that way. You get 10, you could get 25, you can get a quarter. Half is a totally different thing that we are talking about. Like,
you're not in a marriage with those other people.
Forget the man piece. I think John's question around if you're a woman, if you have put your sweat, equity, etc. into something, and what this person did, not minimizing their contribution, I'm not minimizing it at all. If you get $1 million, right, and you got to give $500,000 to somebody. I don't think.
But it's not just somebody. It was previously your mate. Just because your relationship doesn't work out doesn't diminish the fact that your mate was there and supported you in your job, your education, all that kind of stuff. So why is it that we're thinking just because it's a woman now she's not like?
I'm not. I
do what you're saying.
Go ahead, Rob.
Rob's like, please.
Go ahead, Rob.
I typically got to do this to get in, and then I hog the mic. I think if you were in a marriage, everything in that house belongs to the both of you.
Thank you.
And at the moment, and that, like, that's just what it is. And at the moment, I am able to accrue more because I'm the traditional breadwinner and she has taken care of everything else. She played a different role, but it all the contribution comes into the house and everything belongs to us jointly.
Right.
Again, this is why.
And if we decide to split, I'm saying this now, you know, God forbid I ever have to have this experience, but if we decide to split, then it's split 50-50 because everything that was in that house belonged to the both of us. And then we just decide, you know, if we liquidate it or if there are physical things that got to go. But yeah, the value of everything, it's half.
And Darian, I'm in my second marriage, and if we got divorced, I would give my husband half. Period.
Okay, so if y'all want to continue this, so we're gonna go to the next one. Which is actually, it kind of explains why I had my position, because currently I'm a caregiver. I'm one of my mom's caregivers. My mom has dementia. I'll share more about that another time. But I came back home to like help my father get adjusted from going from full-time, like all you got to worry about is being her spouse, her partner, her lover, to now being her caregiver. So because I see what my father is doing for my mother, that's why, and male friends that I've had that's done similarly, like I see the benefit of if a male is holding down what is traditionally or maybe seen as like a female's role or responsibility, which is caregiving, like you still have rights. Like I don't want to overlook like what men are doing. So I guess because caregiving is important to me, I want to ask the fellas, like, do you think it's something more of a female's role, like the daughters, the wife will take on, or have you seen or experienced like men being caregivers, especially for us as like our parents are aging?
There's so much that could be said about that.
Word.
So a lot of men, no, I'm not going to say, I'm not generalizing. There are men who just aren't responsible enough to do that. And there are men who are responsible enough to do that. Some men are more consumed with whether or not that's going to take away from what their role is or what their plans are and what they're trying to do for themselves or their own family. Some men don't give a damn and they be like, that's my mama. I got her. You know what I'm saying? So I think it depends on the type of dude you bump into. It depends on where they are in their lives. It depends on the relationship they have with their family. Not all relatives is family, and that includes your parents.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, you know, if I had a hell of a relationship with my mama growing, don't expect that I'm gonna move back to New York to take care of her, you know?
Right.
So it depends.
And that definitely plays a part on like what your relationship was like when you were growing up, on whether or not you feel like you would take that role.
And with that said, for a lot of men, if they don't do, like if they have to move back home to take care of their parents, a lot of them won't do it because of y'all.
Right.
Because woman would not make you.
Because women, sometimes women will look at a dude like, you living at home with your mama?
Oh.
No, I came home to help her, but you're staying at her.
My mama living with me.
You gotta check your sister in because sometimes they be wilding.
Okay, so with that, I think sometimes if you're telling me that you are literally taking care of your aging parent because of a health issue, mental health issue, something like that, that's completely different than to be like, I'm 42 and I'm living at home because I don't want to pay rent by myself. That's different.
That's a good excuse.
Like, if you are at home saying like, I'm a caregiver for an aging parent, I'm going to give you more respect, because it's like, that shows me that, you know, if I ever have a health issue, I'm going to shout this out. So I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. So like when I'm looking at somebody, if I see that you have that ability to be caring for somebody other than yourself, and that you have been selfless in those acts or whatever, I'm not going to throw you to the side for that because you live with your mama at 42. Like, I mean, that's what hotels are for. We can go somewhere.
Splash.
That's not a problem. So it's just, if you're saying, you know, I've been down on my luck, I'm still producing beats at 47, you ain't got no real job and you at home with your mama, that's different. That's That's totally different. Okay.
I think you're the exception.
Y'all know I'm joking, y'all. Y'all know I'm joking.
That's gonna be a
but
topic
some people out
too.
there that think that, Ra. So
Jennifer, you are the
So, yeah.
exception. Like there are plenty of people who would not be as understanding, regardless of whatever the reason is. But to answer your question, I think caregiving doesn't have to look the way that it's presented, where you physically have to go do anything. There's insurance for stuff like that. And I think predominantly in our community, we look at caregiving as something that is a personal ownership. It ain't got to be that way. You can hire somebody, you can have insurance that can help support, said family member as they are in whatever situation they're in. You don't necessarily have to do that yourself individually. But to Rob's point too, what's going on? You don't really, sometimes it's not your responsibility, quite honestly. It's not your responsibility. And that's an unpopular take, but you don't owe your parents nothing.
Insurance don't cover everything, baby. Insurance don't cover everything.
I disagree, and that may be because I am a caregiver, and I look at it as my parents did so much for me to get to the place that I am.
They were supposed to.
Howard. Yes, but at the same time, like, so you don't feel like, even though your parents were supposed to do that for you because you are their offspring, like you are the fruit of their loins, that you don't owe them, like when they get to a point that they're older, that it's like, I'm gonna hand you off like the nurse.
It's a very unpopular opinion, particularly for
our community, especially
for our community. You don't owe your parents nothing. You really
ain't gonna get I tell you that much. You ain't gonna get my inheritance. I wish you would have some woman wiping my behind while I'm out of it, and I can't wipe my own behind. Nope. I will haunt you and your family, and you ain't getting none of my money.
I just want to say that, like, statistically, Black men die earlier, and that has probably a lot to do with why we don't get a chance. Nobody get a chance to like take care of us because, we start dying in our 40s and 50s and whatnot. So we're not alive to take care of grandma that might be living into her 60s and 70s. And also, I think that this never gets said enough. Like, we are the people who grew up during the crack era that had a huge, massive impact and sucked out a whole lot of men in our formative years. So we didn't have nobody to necessarily base ourselves off of, except for Cliff Huxtable. People always forget about that kind of thing. So if you haven't seen somebody doing something, you really don't have any kind of a day-to-day experience with it. I have older parents too. I don't know exactly what we're going to do as they get older. That's one of them things that we kind of dealing with now, talking about wills and trusts and living trusts and, all this other information. And it's just like, it can be very overwhelming. So, it's one of them things that people do need to pay attention to, men and women. But I think part of the reason why you see so few men in that role is because we start dying out in our 40s and 50s.
Well, I'm going to say that because this is important to me as a caregiver, we're going to talk about this again on the Meet in the Ladies Room, and hopefully like have someone else who can explain more about caregiving while Black. Because I think that because of our community, like, there are differences between like what we do because we are Black people. So meet us in the ladies' room, and we will be on Facebook, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. If you over at your cousin's house having a drink and they play it because you ain't got no internet at home, whatever you got to do, meet us in the ladies' room, okay?
Absolutely. And we just want to thank everybody for listening once again to Straight No Chaser, the podcast. We appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe to this show. We are definitely going to be back. And please like, share, subscribe to Meeting in the Ladies Room. We can't wait to watch all of the different hijinks that everybody gets into going forward. And we are available everywhere that you get podcasts, as they just said. Any place, anytime you can get us. We in the cloud. We out here. Everywhere you want to be at. Basically, Straight No Chaser, the podcast is in production with Dana Bingham Guanillo of Makeda Filmworks, and Dana was created and produced by Midnight Michael. On that note,
peace up.
Last minute
of alcohol.
On that note,
not me.
peace out, y'all. Just let you know, Straight No Chaser will not be streaming over the summer. Make sure you stick with meeting in the ladies' room because we won't be streaming. They'll be popping it off, and we gonna come back after the summer. But in the meantime, if you want more Straight No Chaser, we got over 80 something, almost 90 something episodes out there on Spotify.
Episodes, kid.
Almost like it's like 80 something episodes.
Yeah.
So you can check us out, Apple, Spotify, all that.
Carol Thomas, come back.
I'm not gonna be able to get to all y'all.
We're not horrible people, Carol Thomas.
Ladies, y'all got anything to say before we bounce
I
out?
wasn't saying I was speaking for myself per se, but
yeah, I just want to say HU Ladies Room on all
HU?
platforms, Instagram, TikTok.
You know,
Look it up, please. We will
Like
be
a
coming
bad
y'all
movie.
soon.
Run them numbers up.
I want to say thanks, fellas. Like,
Yes,
letting us
thanks,
perform
guys.
tonight.
Love you guys. Love you
Yes,
guys.
appreciate y'all.
HU,
One more time.
yeah.
you know.
You know.
wait, the real HU.
That's right, baby.
You ain't gotta distinguish
Remember that.
That's that shade.
On that note, with the music.